What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. Today, I'm doing my bold 2025 NASCAR predictions. I've got 35 predictions for all three series in NASCAR for 2025. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. Prediction number 1, Shane Van Gisbergen will win at least 2 NASCAR Cup Series races in 2025. We know that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be really strong on road courses throughout this year. You got Circuit Americas with the supercar configuration for the year. You've got Mexico City where everyone's going to be on an equal advantage. You've got Watkins Glen, a track where he's really strong last year. And you might also see him have a chance and opportunity to win a short track this year. I think he gets multiple wins in 2025. Prediction number 2, Kyle Busch will announce at some point in 2025 that he will not return to Richard Childress Racing in 2026. Kyle Busch is in a contract year with Richard Childress Racing. I just don't think he is going to go back in 2026 unless the team can really turn it around. And I don't see RCR, especially with the hirings they brought in recently. I think Kyle Busch, because of that, is going to leave the team. Not sure where he's going to go, but I think he does a return to RCR in 2026. Prediction number 3, Connor Zilisch will score a top 5 in his NASCAR Cup debut at Circuit of the Americas. I don't think Connor Zilisch is going to go out there and win on his debut. That would be super impressive if he could do that, but I think with the pace and speed he's shown on road course, especially what it did Watkins Glen last year on his debut, I think he's going to be very fast, and I think that number 87 car will be quick enough to contend for wins this year. Prediction number 4, Joey Logano will miss the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. This is extremely bold, but hear me out. Look, Joey Logano last year in 2024, yes, he got 4 wins and won the championship, but he statistically had his worst season as a driver at Team Penske since joining the team in 2013. I just don't see Joey Logano making the playoffs, to be honest. I don't think he's going to have the overall speed at some of these tracks. I think he does get a win at some point. I think we're also going to get a ton of winners, and I don't think he'll have the consistency to make the playoffs in 2025. Prediction number 5, Casey Game will finish top 5 in his return to the Xfinity Series at Rockingham. Casey Game will drive the number 33 car for Richard Childress Racing. He recently did the test, and he was very impressive inside the top 10 throughout the whole entire test, especially with how good Casey Kane's been at Rockingham. I think he's going to have the pace and speed, and I think that RCR is going to bring a solid car for him when we do get to the track there. Prediction number 6, Carl Edwards will drive the number 5 car at North Wilkesboro. Now, this is the thing. I think Carl Edwards is going to drive the 5 car for All-Star Race practice. With Kyle Larson running the Indianapolis 500, he's going to need someone to get behind the wheel of that car. I think this is going to be the only time that Carl Edwards, maybe anytime soon, will ever get back behind the wheel, but I think Carl Edwards will do it. I think he drives the 5 car for All-Star practice in 2025. Prediction number 7, Denny Hamlin will announce retirement from full-time racing at the end of this season. I think with all the pressure Denny Hamlin's got going on this year, I think he's actually going to have a solid season, but I think Denny Hamlin, with all the stuff going on behind the scenes, I don't think he returns to Joe Gibbs Racing as a full-time driver. Now, I don't think he's going to retire altogether from racing. I just think that this is going to be his last full-time season as a NASCAR Cup Series driver. Prediction number 8, Eric Almirola will make starts in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. Eric Almirola has not formally announced what his plans are currently at the moment for 2025, but I think he'll make starts in the Xfinity Series in the number 19 car. He's been open to it. He said at Phoenix he might be interested in coming back. He's got a lot of ambitions, really did good last year. I think he will come back and make at least a few starts in NASCAR Xfinity competition this year with JGR. Prediction number 9, there will be 2 new tracks announced for the 2026 season. NASCAR every year since around 2021 has been adding new tracks to the circuit, and I think there's going to be 2 new tracks that are going to be added. First one I think that's going to be added is that rumored Interlagos track in Brazil. There's a lot of talk about going outside the U.S. and going to Interlagos. I think they go there. There's also a lot of talk about San Diego and Rockingham as well coming on the schedule. So I think NASCAR will do it, and they will go ahead and announce some new dates for the year. Prediction number 10, Junior Motorsports will announce they'll make some NASCAR Cup Series starts in 2026. Junior Motorsports will, of course, running the Daytona 500 attempt in the qualifier for the Daytona 500 this week. But I think if this goes well and they run well in the 500 this week, I think they announce that they're going to try to run some more Cup races for 2026. I don't think they make any more starts in 2025, most likely, but I think they will announce a program in some way, shape, or form. Prediction number 11, Honda will announce that they will be joining NASCAR in 2027. There's been a lot of talk and conversations over the course of the last year or so about Honda joining. There were in-deep talks and conversations in the middle of last year, but nothing really ever worked out. I think with new bodies coming in 2027, I think we're going to see Honda make the jump over to the sport in the next couple years. Prediction number 12, Connor Zilisch will score at least 5 wins in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. I am really high on Connor Zilisch. I think Connor Zilisch is going to have a very strong season in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this year. The junior motorsports cars are good, and the 4 starts he made last year, he had 1 win and 3 top 5 finishes overall and 3 top 10s. I think Connor Zilisch will have a car capable of going to victory lane and being up front on a pretty consistent basis as well in 2025. Prediction number 13, Daniel Suarez will announce he will not return to Trackhouse Racing in 2026. Daniel Suarez is in a contract year with Trackhouse Racing currently at the moment, and I just don't see him coming back in 2026, especially if Connor Zilisch works out really well and does incredible this season. I think they're going to part ways at the end of the year. And I think that Daniel Suarez will not return to Trackhouse next year. Because of that, I think it's going to be a down year for him. I think he does not drive for the team next season. Prediction number 14, Ryan Preece will score at least 5 top 5 finishes in the NASCAR Cup Series this season. This is going to be the best opportunity that Ryan Preece has had in NASCAR Cup competition, and I think he's going to take the best of it here. He's going to have a career season in NASCAR Cup competition. The RFK cars have been really strong over the last couple of years or so. I think he's going to have a car capable of winning, contending for wins and victories, and I think he'll have a very strong season and have the best season he's had up to this point. Prediction number 15, Kyle Larson will contend for the win in the 2025 Indianapolis 500. Last year, Kyle Larson attempted the Indy 500 and was super impressive. He had an outside chance of winning the race early, but unfortunately made a mistake at the end where he sped on pit road. I think that the number 17 team is going to be more prepared this time around, and I think Kyle Larson is going to be in a better position to go to victory lane, so I think he will be a massive threat to win the 2025 Indianapolis 500. Prediction number 16, Hailie Deegan will make a one-off start in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. Hailie Deegan has been open if a big sponsor comes in that she could make some starts in NASCAR Xfinity competition. I don't think she makes more than 1 start this year. I think it likely comes in the middle of the year, maybe like Daytona in the summer, or maybe at a track kind of similar to the Indy NXT schedule, but I don't think she's going to run a lot anymore in NASCAR, but she makes a one-off start this year. Prediction number 17, Kurt Busch will make a one-off start in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025. Kurt Busch has been medically cleared to return to NASCAR, and I think that he has the opportunity if a team wants to pick him up. He is going to do the Race of Champions race next month, and he courses at 2311 currently at the moment. So I think with that, I think they're going to have a car prepared for in that 4th entry. I think he drives it at some point this year. Prediction number 18, Chandler Smith will win at least 3 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races in 2025. Chandler Smith, of course, driving number 38 truck for Front Row Motorsports this year. I think Chandler Smith is going to be a championship contender in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. I think he's going to have a fantastic season with the number 38 team. He's got a strong program to work with. Front Row was really good in 2024. I think it's going to be a better team in 2025, especially for Chandler Smith. Prediction number 19, Lane Riggs will make the Championship 4 in the Craftsman Truck Series. Lane Riggs had a really strong second half of this season. After a bad start at the beginning of the year, he won 2 of the final 8 races of this season. I think Lane Riggs is going to set the world on fire this year. I think he's going to get 2 to 3 wins most likely in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and I think that Front Row is going to bring a pace and speed where he can definitely be a contender in 2025. Prediction number 20, M&M's will announce a return and will sponsor a car in 2025. M&M's has not been in the sport since 2022, but I feel like there's people talking about M&M's, right? I think they come back out of nowhere for like a one-off sponsorship deal, maybe with someone like a Kyle Busch at RCR. That would certainly be really cool if that could happen, but I think M&M's will somehow find a way back in the sport and sponsor a driver this year. Prediction number 21, Ross Chastain will score multiple wins in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025. Last year was an anomaly. From 2022 to 2023, Ross Chastain scored 4 wins combined in those 2 years. I think that we're going to see Ross Chastain pick up multiple victories this season. I think that number 1 team is a lot stronger than the speed showed last year, and I think that Ross Chastain will overall have a very solid and a really strong season in 2025. Prediction number 22. Carson Quaff will win at least 2 NASCAR Xfinity Series races in 2025. I think Carson Quaff is going to have a phenomenal season in Xfinity competition. We know he's going to be really strong on the short tracks in the Xfinity Series this year, and I think the pace and speed from the number 1 team is going to be really good. Plus, he's working the Andrew Overstreet, which they both worked really well. I think he's going to have a pretty strong year in 2025. Prediction number 23. Bubba will also make the round of 12 in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. I've seen a lot of people saying that Bubba Wallace will not make the playoffs in 2025, but I completely disagree. Bubba Wallace, I think, is going to have the speed to contend a lot. He's got a better crew chief. He's just coming off finishing in top 5 in the Cookout Clash last week. I think that he is going to be a massive threat in serious contender. I think he's going to bring the pace and speed and gets to the round of 12 with at least a win or 2 this year as well. Prediction number 24. Chase Briscoe will win 2 NASCAR Cup Series races in 2025. There's obviously some questions around with his crew chief James Small going into the year, but I really think that Chase Briscoe is going to have a phenomenal season in the NASCAR Cup Series. He's going to have a career year, and I think he will get multiple victories. I really like the speed they showed at the Clash. I know the race didn't end well for them, but I think that Chase Briscoe gets multiple victories in 2025. Prediction number 25. Prime Energy will sponsor Kyle Larson on a one-off race in 2025. Prime Energy and Prime are associated with Kyle Larson currently at the moment, as Kyle Larson is a Prime athlete, which is association with KSI and Logan Paul. So I think that they are going to go ahead and sponsor him at least in one race this year, maybe a race down the road later this year, but I think that we see a Prime Energy car on the racetrack in 2025. Prediction number 26. William Swalch will miss the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. This is really bold considering the fact there's a lot of people that are very high on William Swalch, and I think William Swalch does have talent. There's no question on that, but I just don't trust William Swalch to do extremely well this year. I think it's going to be a little bit of struggle. The first few races he ran last year did not go so well for him, so I think it will be a little bit of struggle for William in 2025, and I think because of the competition in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, I don't think he makes the playoffs later this year. Prediction number 27. Corey Heim will win the most Truck Series races in 2025. This is probably the least bold prediction considering the fact that Corey Heim did win the most races in 2024. But you've got some decent competition in guys like Grant Enfinger, Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, Roger Kroof, Ty Majeski, who all could have really strong seasons in truck competition. Nonetheless, though, I think that Corey Heim is going to have another really good season, which could down the road lead to him going back up to the NASCAR Cup Series with a really strong program in the future. Prediction number 28. Todd Gillen will finish in the top 20 in NASCAR Cup points. I think that Todd Gillen is going to surprise a lot of people this year in a big way. Number one, Todd Gillen had a really good year in 2024 where he's inside the top 20 in the points quite a bit. Secondly, he's going to have Chris Lawson as a crew chief, and Chris Lawson is someone who's been able to help drivers get a lot better through second half seasons and all that stuff. So I think that it's going to be a really strong year for Todd, and I think he has a solid season with this team. Prediction number 29. Kyle Busch will win 2 Truck Series races in 2025. Kyle Busch has not announced a schedule currently at the moment for 2025, but we do expect he is going to make some starts with Spire Motorsports in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series this year. So I think that he'll go back down and make a few starts this year. I've already predicted 2 to 3 wins. I think he will get only 2 wins, but I think it'll be less than some other years he's had in Craftsman Truck Series competition in the past. Prediction number 30. Chase Elliott will win at least 4 NASCAR Cup Series races in 2025. Chase Elliott had a really strong end to 2024. He led over 200 laps combined in the final 3 races of this season, and he also won the Cookout Clash, dominating that event. I think this 9 team is here to stay. I think there's going to be a lot of speed from the number 9 team in 2025. I think they're going to bring a car capable enough to be up front on a consistent week-by-week basis. I think that Chase Elliott will contend for a lot of races and get a couple victories with the Hendrick Motorsports team and organization in 2025. Prediction number 31. There will be at least 2 photo finishes in NASCAR in 2025. Last year, I believe there were 4 or 5 finishes across the board in all of the series. This year, I think it might go down a little bit because I think the field may spread out just a little bit more, but I think there still will be a couple photo finishes, most likely on super speedways. I think it's going to be a good year for some good finishes, but I think it also might be less than some previous years we have seen in the past as well. Prediction number 32, Daniel Hemrick will win multiple Truck Series races in 2025. Now, Daniel Hemrick will not have Charles Deneke as a crew chief, as Josh Graham will be the crew chief for him in 2025. I think Hemrick, though, is going to go down to truck competition, and I think he's going to run really solidly this year. I think Hemrick will have the pace and speed to contend on a week-by-week basis. I think Hemrick's going to have a good year, and I think he will get multiple truck wins with the McAnally-Hilgeman organization this year. Prediction number 33, Connor Jones will not make a single start in NASCAR in 2025. Connor Jones, from what I've heard, there's been some things that have happened. And Connor Jones is not liked by a lot of people in the industry, and I think a lot of teams are not going to take a chance on this kid because of some of the antics he had on the track, and he really showed no remorse on the track as well. So I think, shockingly, he doesn't make a start, but I think he will not get rewarded with a seat this year. Prediction number 34, Spire Motorsports will score at least 15 top 10 finishes across the board in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think Spire Motorsports is going to have a breakout season all around. They've got 3 strong drivers in Carson Osvar, Justin Haley, and Michael McDowell. They've got 3 drivers who are capable of winning races potentially. If Spire's got a Tier 1 alliance like they're expected to get, I think it could be a very solid year for the Spire Motorsports team in 2025. And the 35th and final prediction, Josh Berry will score at least 8 top 10 finishes in the NASCAR Cup Series this year. I think that Josh Berry is going to surprise a lot of people with the Wood brothers. I've already predicted he's going to finish top 25 in the points, and I think that's going to happen this year for Josh. I think he's going to have a car capable of being up front a lot more. He's got a pretty solid crew chief going into this season. I think that he'll have a very strong season with the Wood brothers organization in 2025. So, those are my bold 2025 NASCAR predictions. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. List description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your predictions for 2025? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There won't be more videos dropping today on the channel. Tomorrow, we're going to have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple of days. On Tuesday, I'm probably going to have Xfinity and Truck Series race picks dropping out for Daytona, and then on Wednesday, I'll probably have the NASCAR Daytona 500 race picks, along with, of course, some other content dropping as well. We've got reviews for the duels coming up. We've got reactions to Daytona 500 qualifying, and we've got content people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Connor Zilch, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, other big names in the sport like Cletus McFarland, Matt DiBenedetto, Frankie Muniz, all the good stuff, Ellie Castroneves, Chandler Smith, all the good stuff on the channel coming soon. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, buddy.